Howdy folks, this is a 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLC350e 4MATIC. Whew, that's quite a mouthful, but the important part of this is the fact that it's a 2025, which means a brand new model, and that it has a little tiny E next to the 350. And that means this is a plug-in hybrid, and not just any plug-in hybrid. This one, for its class, has some of the best range electrically of any plug-in hybrid in its class. In addition, it's quick, it's comfortable, and it's a Mercedes-Benz. So let's talk about what's going on with this car, and I'm going to come grab the camera and do a little bit of a walk with you, because we're going to talk about design, which, let's be honest, there hasn't been a lot that's changed. Front end is very similar to the previous one. You can see right there. Proper badging right there. This whole thing, I do like the fact that they had these little tiny Mercedes-Benz stars going throughout the pattern here, and they highlight them. I think it's cool. They did it in a fairly tasteful way. Although these vents, which are partially functional, they look a little too macho for this vehicle. One of the reasons why, of course, is because it's not that macho. I'll explain in a moment. Those are 20-inch wheels. Now they have an AMG package that you could put on this, so you can add components to it to make it look kind of AMG-ish, but it's not an AMG, right? Overall lines, very similar to what they had before. I do like the fact that it has a very subtle character line that's running right there. Then it starts again and goes there. Then 350e and 4MATIC. So all-wheel drive system. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to get down. Here we go. That is an exhaust port with no exhaust. Say what? Exhaust is down there. Yeah. Germans being clever. Hide an exhaust, which is exactly what Audi and Volkswagen have been doing for years. And it's something that, frankly, I don't like. And I would imagine some of you guys don't either. Okay, so there's the basics on the outside. Let's go inside real quick. All right. Now, here's the weird part. This is an in-between vehicle, right? It's not an internal combustion vehicle. It's also an electric vehicle. It's both. And I was kind of hoping that they'd have the best of both worlds, not necessarily the worst. As that being said, one of the things that they decided to keep is this. Looks like what you would find in any Mercedes, but this is actually the controls out of an electric Mercedes. I know that because these don't move. They're touch sensitive. Here, watch. I'm going to touch the bottom here. Yeah, it works, but there's no reward of an actuator clicking back and forth, making any of these move, which on any of the regular Mercedes-Benz that aren't electric, they have that. And frankly, I prefer it. And I don't see any reason why this has to exist. It just, you have to look away to make sure you're touching something. You can't just feel it and have it click back and forth. This, which is the memory pad, also has, so 3 memories, heating and cooled seats. Well, it's all one piece of plastic, right? So depending on where you put your finger, you're only rewarded with a click, because the whole thing clicks, right? 1, 2, 3, but it can identify where your finger has been. I'm not exactly thrilled with that. Okay, let's go into the interior. Seating is, of course, typical Mercedes, so quite comfortable. Well bolstered, especially for a large monkey like me. Let me go inside. 12.3-inch screen right here. There we go. See if I can pull back enough. And probably one of the better feeling steering wheels in this class. You can see here, there are paddle shifters. These paddle shifters are not for performance, they're for regenerative braking. I'm going to try to demonstrate that as I drive it. Here's your on-off switch. You have vents up above, and then you have some controls here. But once again, this is a plastic panel. It's actually one plastic panel here, right? And then you have a separate plastic little thing right here for your hazard. Not a big fan. I know Mercedes could do better, and that's the part that really gets me. This, by the way, material, which is kind of like a carbon fiber-ish weave plastic thing, that's extra. Oh, okay, open that up. Cup holders here. So they have this little clip that pops out. Can you see this? Boop, boop. That's to hold your drink in place. The problem is when you put your drink in there, you have to kind of, let's see if I can do it with my thumb, scooch that out of the way in order to get your drink in there. Some people will really like that and some people won't. I don't think it's a big deal. But this does close on its own, so that's all fancy schmancy. Finally, there's this. I don't know if you can see it, but there's two USB-Cs right down in there. So you can charge phones. You got a little thing here that does move. Yeah. Glove compartment, by the way, real quick. It's felt lined, which is nice, but it's not very big. Okay. Now that we've got that out of the way, how about we start the car? Boop. Okay. There's that. And then there's that. Come on. There you go. Okay. This vehicle's ready to drive. And it even says, welcome.
Good to see you back again, test driver.
Yeah, what's up? I don't know. It doesn't really respond. You can do things like well, check this out. Hey, Mercedes.
How may I help you?
Where's my thing?
Please tell me your destination. Please say the destination.
Alpha Centauri.
Excuse me, could you say that again? I didn't quite catch what you said. What is your destination? Can you tell me your destination?
Wow.
Could you repeat your input?
Cancel?
I have found... Can you say that again, please?
Cancel, please. In the name of... Cancel. Cancel. Stop. Wow, they got some interesting, things here. Okay. It's because I said wow and she heard that. Okay. All right, let's get to the... I'm sorry on that sidetracked note. Here we go. So, temperature controls, they're all digital. All of this screen, once again, all digital. Navigation works well, but this screen is anything but intuitive to use. There's home. Here is your sources, FM, blah, 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 what have you. And all of that's stored down here. I would prefer hard buttons. I think many of you would as well. So this overall screen, it's like they were kind of looking at Tesla and saying, oh yeah, we could do that too. And I do like the positioning where it's located. It's closer to the window, but using that is not great. Okay, but let's go here. This is the magic button.
Please say the destination.
Cancel. She won't leave me alone. It's like being married twice. Okay, dynamic. Okay, that's what I just did. So that's battery hold. That's electric. That's hybrid. And that's sport. And that's individual. I think these are fairly self-explanatory, but to quickly put you through it, individual is where you can actually go and kind of make it your own thing. Sport, obviously that just gives you the maximum of everything, so you get full power. Hybrid, it works like a hybrid system, so it's giving you the best gas mileage and whatnot. Electric, it's just all electric. This thing has an amazing range. We'll talk about that in a second. And then battery hold, I think what it basically does is that keeps your engine just running, so you're not using any of your power. Before I go under the hood, I wanted to start over here. So on the passenger side, the right side of the vehicle, you have your gas, but on this side, Look at this. Oh, and they do this and that. That's significant. For one thing, I love having doors instead of a piece of rubber that pulls off. But more importantly, did you see this? You know what that means? That means it's a CCS setup for J1772, meaning that it will fast charge. Not very fast, but this is a 24.8 kilowatt hour battery that's in here. And I believe it's like right here, right over, like right behind the rear seat, over not too far from the gas tank. And this amount of power will allow the vehicle to go, according to Mercedes-Benz, 54 miles on a charge. It charges at 60 kilowatts, meaning that it's slow. That is very slow, but it's still a fast charge. What does that mean for you? Well, it means one thing in particular, and that is that if you are at 10%, charging up to 80%, which is usually recommended, will take less than 30 minutes. Now, some people say that you can charge from 0 to 100% in less than 30 minutes, but what I've seen on Mercedes sites is that they recommend 10 to 80%. Keep that in mind. Hey, doesn't that look like a V8? It's really not. What you're looking at there is actually a turbocharged 2-liter. Now it puts out combined 313 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque, and that's thanks to its electric motor. So without the electric motor, it only put out like around 200 horsepower. It's got a 9-speed automatic transmission, and you can also hook up an AC 11 kilowatt for level 2 at home, which is actually pretty decent, meaning that overnight charging of this thing would be a snap. So, what about gas mileage? Interesting thing here. It gets, wait for it, 25 miles per gallon. Yep, that's it. No, it actually does. If it only was running with the gas engine, that's what it would get. It's 61 mpge according to the sticker that came with the car. Yeah, that's pretty good. But once again, let's go back to 54 miles on a charge, all electric. You could drive this thing all damn day in electric and not have to worry about a damn thing, because if something happens, gas engine turns on and you're good to go. That's what people love about hybrids. So this is the key. I love Mercedes keys because they're heavy. That feels like real metal too. Can you see that? Yep. Not a whole lot going on though. Look at this. You got unlock, lock, that's the main big button here, and the trunk control. That's it. So now I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to hit this lovely start button. No, I didn't do that. Okay. It's a 2-liter turbo under the hood, so you're not going to get a lot of sound even if you left this in its hold mode, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hit this dynamic button down here once again, and I'm going to make this screen go to electric. Now we're in all electric mode. No excuses. This is what it's going to do, and hopefully that means it's going to perform well. Same type of driving stock that all Mercedes have, or many do, which means down for drive, up for reverse. You can see the cameras back there. I do like the bird's eye view. Once again though, Mercedes got the color of the car wrong. What's up with that? And then of course park is this button here. Simple, easy peasy. Okay, we're in drive mode now. Should automatically release the parking brake when I accelerate. There it goes. Now I've been driving this thing for a little bit, and I can tell you a couple of things. First of all, it's absolutely fine as a daily driver. That's exactly what this was built for. This is built for the person who wants a Mercedes-Benz that gets really good fuel mileage, that can be driven every day, and they have their conscience is absolved of all sin, right? Because they don't have to drive an electric vehicle to prove anything to anybody. They want the convenience of having a gas engine. So having an overly complex vehicle like this, which truly is, means that they're fine. Everything's good. It's all copacetic. There are a lot of people out there who are absolutely against plug-in hybrids, PHEVs. The main reason tends to be the complexity of the vehicle. And this is complex. Think about it. You have a gas engine and you have an electric motor, both in the same vehicle. You have a battery, you have a gas tank, you have all of that in the same vehicle. And people would say, well, it just doesn't make any sense because you're not getting the best of either world. You're getting mediocre of both worlds at best. And I say, nay. I say that there's something that a lot of you guys have forgotten. By the way, we're going to accelerate a little bit. We're an all electric, remember? Yeah. Not super fast, but quick enough. Does the job. Anyway, the whole point of this car is one word and one word only: choice. You, as the consumer, have a choice. You can get a vehicle like this that'll give you some options. If you want to drive it as a regular gas car that gets decent mileage, you're more than welcome to do that. I have been seeing mileage coming back in the 40s without much of a problem. Or you can drive it all the time in electric mode, plug it in, which we're going to do at the end of this video, charge it up, and keep driving it as an electric car. Not use a drop of gas. Now, if you can afford this car, you could probably afford the gas. However, it's kind of nice to know, and this is the most important part to me, because once again, choice, that you get really good range with one of these vehicles. Imagine being able to drive all through Los Angeles and all that other stuff, and then being able to go onto the highway and go to Palm Springs if you want. You can do that in this car without a problem. And the best part is, so far, I've been seeing and I've been hearing about better range in terms of the electric range than advertised. 54 miles is what Mercedes-Benz says. I've been talking to people that have been getting much better mileage, like over 60 in a charge. That's pretty damn impressive. Of course, that has to do with regenerative braking. I mentioned before that paddle shifters are here. So with regenerative braking in this vehicle, well, essentially, here we go. I just hit minus and it says normal recuperation right there. I'll hit it again. It says strong recuperation. And then I'll hit it again and nothing. So two choices. It's not one pedal driving, by the way. And then if you use this, it cancels that out. Normal, no. So no recuperation whatsoever, meaning this thing will roll freely. I do recommend just keeping it in strong. It means that there's some resistance, but it also means that whenever you're taking your foot off the accelerator, then you're getting back energy into the battery, which I highly recommend for those people who are serious about actually stretching out range. I mean, isn't that the cool part? You have the option. You have the ability to choose what you want. And in this particular case, you get to put it into a luxury package. And it is quite comfortable. Yes, I'm not a big fan of some of the components that they're put in here, but it's still a Mercedes-Benz, meaning it rides extremely well and it handles extremely well, in addition to it being a Mercedes-Benz. So you're never going to embarrass yourself parking in front of Neiman Marcus. So, bottom line here is that so far the car has proven to be efficient, it's proven to be comfortable, it's proven to be quick, and aesthetics, yeah, that's really based on what you guys think. I think it's okay. It doesn't really excite me as much as some other designs excite me, but I will say this, I think it's better looking than their all-electric SUVs. So now, let's do one more acceleration here. Yeah. It's not crazy fast. It does the job, though. If you have $59,000, in theory, you can get one of these. That's where they start. This one's around $74,000. It's a lot of dough. However, considering the fact that you're getting an extremely efficient vehicle, you're getting something that is branded Mercedes-Benz, but most importantly, you're getting what we talked about earlier, choice. That's the most important part of this car in my mind, because you can choose between two different things in a car that, frankly speaking, has more tech than you can shake a stick at. Best part of all, it's a lot of fun to drive. Thanks guys for joining me. I'll see you next time.